Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Excuse me. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Okay, I want to go into a couple of articles today that I was looking at from my my little news article app I got. And I've been I've been seeing a lot of articles going into how these Edomite women are being judged, and particularly the two articles behind this one goes into how these Edomite women are getting with these younger Edomite boys. Well, one of them was an actual boy. He was 12, and then he was 13, and she was having sex with and actually got pregnant by him. By the 12, 13-year-old Edomite boy. And then the other woman, she was 23, messing with a 17-year-old, Edomite boy. And the crazy thing about all of it is both of the women were married, but only one got sent to jail, but they both were considered underage, in society. And this article, I had just seen it. I wasn't gonna do nothing about it at first until I read it. It said former Today host gets served divorce papers from wife. Which when it said divorce, I was gonna do it actually. Divorce papers. I was like, okay, Edomite woman getting divorced. But then when it said from wife, I was like, oh yeah. So I'm gonna read a little bit of all of them, and then I'm gonna get a couple scriptures. But this is really everything being switched back onto you Edomites. These curses are really coming upon you. Not only just the Edomite man, but the Edomite woman. So I'm not sure which one was the actual host. I'm pretty sure it's probably the one on the right. But it says NBC News correspondent Stephanie Gosk has filed for divorce from her wife, former Today's host Jennifer Wolf, after almost 13 years of marriage. Gosk, 53, filed for divorce on Wednesday, TMZ reported, citing online records. Okay, so it was her actually on the left. It says the couple, who shares two daughters, Harper, which is 12, and Queen, which is 10, separated in September 2021, but had never filed for divorce. And let's see, it says, while working at Today in 2013, Wolf, which is 51, announced that she was a lesbian and that she and her partner Goss were expecting their first child. The two married later that year and welcomed Harper in August. In February 2015, Quinn was born. Now, I've been laughing at these Edomites this whole time. Been laughing at their downfall because they celebrated and rejoiced at our downfall. Now we're seeing their downfall and shameful spewing being put on them, just like they did to us. And I've been laughing at them all day, and it's more to come. This is the prequel to the kingdom, and because in the kingdom, look, the odds is going to be completely outside of their favor, They're going to be completely outside of their favor, nowhere near in their favor, and they're already losing the odds now. Let's see. It says after nearly 10 years together, Wolf told People in 2023 that she and Gosk had been separated since September 2021, adding that the pandemic had complicated their relationship. And that's funny because first and foremost, two women shouldn't be together anyway. But this is Esau's kingdom. He do what he want, and we just sit in the back and laugh at him. Let them destroy themselves. So, and another thing is, two women can't have children, just like two men can't have children. So, we don't even understand who got pregnant. How did they even work it? it don't matter though, you know. Just laughing at these Edomites. So that's it on the first article. I won't go read all of it. Now here go the second one. It says disturbing text. Teacher sent teen student she slept with exposed. And like this Edomite right here in particular, like the crazy part about it is these Edomites, well, some of them, well, this one at least, don't even look bad, you know. But you get it with underage men, or rather younger men who's not even established, nowhere near established. They in high school and planning on building a family with them. That just goes to show you how far these Edomites have fallen from the peak of their empire when they once were. Because at one point these Edomite women, they was, you know, submissive to their men. They followed their man. They wanted to build a family. Now these Edomites in general, they have lost their damn mind. Which, you know, they've always been wicked. They've always been out of order. But you in your kingdom, you already married, and the odds are in your favor. Why are you getting with somebody that's not even established yet? You know, probably don't even have a car. So it says McKenna Kendrick admitted to having sex with her teen student back in 2022. The disturbing text sent between an ex-teacher and her underage student have been uncovered after she admitted having sex with the teen in the bed she shares with her husband. So that makes it even worse. You brought the teen to your house and had sex in the bed with that you and your husband sleep in. But it gets worse. It gets worse. Now I'm gonna jump down. The relationship began when an anonymous student found Kendra's Instagram account, and then the 17-year-old and 23-year-old started exchanging sexually explicit messages, photos, and videos. Things escalated when Kendrick invited the teen to her marital home while her husband, Kyle Kendrick, was away on a hunting trip. And that's how I go, you know, typical. The Edomite man leave home for a couple of days and his wife is wide open. Where they spent hours having sex, according to the disturbing new reports. It said hours, you know. However, this illegal relationship then remained secret for long. And the crazy part about it, they don't even say it's illegal because they're not even saying it because it's adultery. They're saying it because the boy wasn't 18. That's how you know this place is wicked. You know, this is extremely wicked, and not one time have they said anything about adultery. However, the illegal relationship didn't remain secret for long, as rumors quickly started to spread around the school, with other students reporting Kendrick to senior staff. It says the teen's mom also reported the relationship to police after allegedly witnessing some of the inappropriate messages and pictures being sent between her son and the teacher. I don't know what just happened. Now, this is one of the crazy things. It says Kendra was later arrested in March 2024. She confessed to second-degree sexual misconduct and was handed 2 years of probation along with a $700 fine. So a slap on the wrist. $700 for an Edomite, you know, an established Edomite. That ain't nothing, you know. That ain't nothing for Esau. And then 2 years of probation. It didn't say anything about jail time, you know. But let Jake get a speeding ticket, or let Jake get pulled over because he was speeding, and your life is on the line. You might get shot. But according to our laws, this woman and that boy would get put to death, you know. It says because that's adultery. She was also placed on the sex offenders registry, where she will remain for 10 years. Again, they haven't said anything about adultery. Now, some of the alarming messages, which let's get right here. The teen reportedly wrote, "You should have video." Well, I guess I gotta read this. It said, now some of the alarming messages sent between the pair have been unearthed, in which the teen asked Kendra if she had used the sex toy while thinking of him. The former teacher responded, "I did." The teen reportedly wrote, "You should have videoed it and save it." To which Kendrick replied, "Next time I need to learn Snapchat, haha." In another message, Kendrick told the underage boy, "I like being touched by you." Now, that's her husband. That's her and her husband. And it tells you her husband has stuck by her side. So after underage, or I ain't gonna even say underage, he's 17, but a teenage boy done went in and had his way with your wife, you choose to stick by her side. Now, let's see. It's this paragraph. It says, since admitting her crimes, Kendra's husband has chosen to stand by her side and even move with her to a new state to start a fresh start following the court case. And that's just, that's why I laugh, That's why I was laughing earlier at these Edomites, Now, don't get it twisted. You know how Esau get down. He'll hold that energy in. His true feelings, he'll hold it in for about a couple years, and then when they build a family, he had one bad day, and then next thing you know, the whole Kendrick family gone. That's how Esau get down. But the fact that he chose to stick by his side, I'm just laughing. Just laughing at these Edomites, because they're trying so hard to continue on the legacy that had already been passed down to them, where they can have the life, have the house, the car, build the family, and be able to pass it down. And that ain't happening. They women are abandoning them. Their women are not loyal to them. That's how you know their kingdom is falling. Now it says, as the court concluded, Kendra said she was deeply ashamed of her actions and apologized to the victim and his family. "I am truly sorry for my actions," which she's not. "I know that she's just sorry she got caught. I know that this past year has been enormously stressful for all involved. As a result of my actions, I have lost my career, valuable friendships, freedoms, and have let down countless people who placed their trust in me," she said. "My mental health has also been severely affected by this event. I am deeply ashamed of the pain I have caused." Which they're not. They're just ashamed that they got caught. Because if they was ashamed, she would have been saying something like this. She would have told the boy she was ashamed and told him that they can't ever do that again. Even though she's still gonna be judged by all these Edomites gonna be judged by Yahweh Shemashah anyways. She was only the shame, or the feeling of shame, the confession of shame, only came after she got caught, not before. Now, this last one, it says, bombshell twist in case of married teacher who fell pregnant to 13-year-old boy as his friends revealed the red flags in his behavior. And this, like I said, this woman is, okay, I had quite a couple interruptions, but getting back to it, it said her husband was blindsided by the baby's paternity, and said they didn't know that the wife's baby was 13. Like I said, I've been laughing at these Edomites all day, because they've been doing so much, and it starts with the elite. They've done so much to destroy our people that it's beautiful to see the judgment come back onto them, and before anybody watching and be like, try to say that was that's something wicked to say or whatever. The scriptures tell you it's a righteous thing to see tribulation. Tribulations onto those that trouble you. Let me get that real quick. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1. I'm gonna start at 5. Well, I'll start at 4. It says, "See that we ourselves glory in you in the churches of the Most High for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure, which is a manifest token of the righteous judgment of Yahweh by Shemashah, that ye may be counted worthy of the kingdom of the Most High, for which ye also suffer, seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Right. It's a righteous thing with the Most High, you know, for him to recompense tribulation, you know, because the Lord said vengeance is his. So he's recompensing the tribulation they've caused onto our people and to the elect mainly, but especially to our people, because they trouble us, you know. And I'm specifically speaking on the Edomites, you know, specifically harping on Esau, because our people, they come against us too. So this, you know, it applies to them too, but mainly speaking on these Edomites, you know. It's a righteous thing. And I'm gonna get one more. Fall of our enemy. It's Sirach chapter 25 and 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And this is what we see in the fall of our enemy. The main enemy, Esau, Edom. We are seeing his downfall in real time. Let me get that in GNT, see what it's worded like. GNT, Sirach 25 and 7. I would tell you about 10 kinds of people that I feel fortunate to know, especially fortunate in the case of the 10th. Someone who takes pride in his children, someone who lives to see his enemies fall. So look, it's a good thing to see that. Yeah, it's a blessing to see it. And these are signs of his downfall, because this would be unheard of, you know, 50 plus years ago. This would be unheard of. A 13-year-old boy getting a 33-year-old married woman pregnant. This would be unheard of. So I'm gonna read a little bit of it. It says, Naomi Takia Craig, 33, was working at a Angelican school in Mandurah, about an hour south of Perth, where when she spent most of more than a year sexually abusing the boy. The abuse began when he was 12 years old and ended after his 13th birthday in December, just before she was arrested and charged with child abuse-linked offenses. It was also just weeks before she gave birth to a baby on January the 8th. Now, Craig pleaded guilty to 15 offenses in Mandurah Magistrates Court on Tuesday. Skipping down, well, no. The Daily Mail can now reveal Craig's husband spent almost the whole pregnancy assuming the baby was his, indicating she had been abusing the boy while still maintaining her marital sex life. So she was having sex with both of them, a 13-year-old boy and her husband. Those close to the family confirmed Craig's husband referred to the unborn infant as our baby in late December. He was calling the baby his, not knowing that a 13-year-old boy smashed his wife. Was smashing his wife on, off of her, initiating it, of course. Now, let's see. Let's skip down. And these are just pictures of her. That's her wedding day in 2019. Naomi Takia Craig is pictured while pregnant with her first child, fathered by her husband. So I don't know. I'm guessing that she probably already had a child before. No. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. But no, I'm tripping. No, I'm not. It's not specific. Let's see. Craig will be sentenced in the district court at a later date, and she could be looking at a lengthy stint behind bars, with those who commit sexual offenses against children able to be sentenced to up to 20 years in WA. Now, skip down. It talked about him, his behavior changing. from being a normal student to talking about sexual, on social media, being a troublemaker. And it said he started posting all type of sexual content. And then when he found out that she was pregnant with his child as a 13-year-old boy, he started posting things about fatherhood and wanting to be a father and what that's gonna be like. Now, okay, so yeah, it says Miss Craig already had one child with her husband. So she already had that's crazy. She already had a child, and now her child's brother is, man. Her child's brother, I'm sorry. Yeah, her child's brother. Well, I don't know. It didn't say the gender of the other child. I don't think. But let's see. Her child's brother or whatever, or her child's sibling. I'll say it like that. And the father of the child, which was 13 at the time, they probably less than 13 years apart. Ain't no telling. There is no telling. They're probably less than 13 years apart. For all we know, they can be 5 years apart. It's crazy. Let me see. It says in court. No, just weeks before Craig gave birth, he said there was no DNA test needed to determine the child's paternity. Now, I'm believing that's the 13-year-old boy who said that. It says in court, Magistrate Claire Cullen read the charges out loud, which included multiple counts of penetration of a child under 13, and after his birthday, sexual penetration of a child over 13 and under 16. Skipping down. 12 of the incidents took place in the Mandurah suburb of Silver Sands, and 3 took place nearby in Meadow Springs. So, golly, they only talk about 15. Ain't no telling if it was more or not. Now it says later on today, Craig's husband broke cover and dropped their oldest son off at her parents' home. Craig is prohibited from seeing anyone under 18, so she can't see nobody under 18, including her eldest child. She can't even see her first child without supervision. With her newborn, the only exception to the strict court order. Let me see. It said she was in. I thought it said something about her being in jail too. Well, I know it talked about her going to jail, so that might have been it. Yeah, she would be looking at a lengthy stint behind bars. So it said her matter will be mentioned in the district court on March the 27th. So this is all recent, I'm guessing. Yeah, that was January 28th. That was yesterday. And let me see what these comments say. Let's see if I can get some comments. I hope all her family and friends have turned their backs. And I look, they're being shamed. Look at that, fell pregnant to a 13-year-old. Man. Not like that happened to me when I was 13-year-old at school. We may titter about this, but it's very sinister of her. Her poor children will have this stigma with them all their lives. Good, good, because we as Israelites, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans have been suffering all this time since we've been under these people. So now it's starting to turn into them. Oh yeah, it says if this were a man, the word, I don't even want to say it, but you see it, would be all over the headlines. Call her what she is, Oh man, now let me get this last scripture. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, starting at verse 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. This is what Esau Edom done. He done put all types of traps in our communities, in our music, in our quote unquote culture, not our, but the culture that Jake, Israelites in general have taken hold to, for the Southern Kingdom, black culture, So the culture, the movies, the entertainment, all these things that Esau has put his poison in to destroy our people. And now look, it said, woe unto him, meaning destruction. Judgment is coming. And 16, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. And I'm going to read that in the KJAMP. You will be filled with disgrace instead of honor. Now drink and expose your own nakedness. The cup of wrath in the Lord's right hand will come around to you, O destroyer, and utter disgrace will be on your own glory. Now we know that this is ultimately going to be when Esau Edom is taken out of power. But we seeing remnants, we seeing different cases pop up everywhere, everything not even being reported with what's going on in these Edomite communities, But they are experiencing shameful spewing, as the scriptures say. Shameful spewing, and they're being exposed about it. And people are calling them what they are, So, like I said, these were just 3 different articles that I seen today about these Edomite women. And again, when Esau loses his women, I mean, not Esau, but when a nation, when they lose their women, they through. They over with, So, Lord will, it's an edifying lesson. And Lord will, somebody might have laughed. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. And until next time.